You had a really good joke yesterday. This was a good one. The Braves manager looks like Humpty Dumpty. Maybe he'll have a very good fall, which is a really good baseball joke. I'm Hannah Kaiser, and this is The Bandwagon. Last week, we bandwagoned the ascendant White Sox, who have continued to climb in the overall AL seeding. Incidentally, I realized that they were actually the first place team that we have talked about this entire year, which is why this week I'm bandwagoning the Braves.
Woo! Yeah, ATL!
A team whose comparative competence and ability to score 29 runs in a single game has them sitting atop the NL East for the third straight season, despite injuries to basically their entire intended opening day rotation. That has left them with the highest ERA for National League starters, in addition to having the most prominent baseball player to fall victim to COVID-19 and one of the bigger names to opt out. Because this pandemic is in fact very real and continues to pose a potentially serious threat to even young, healthy athlete types, Freddie Freeman got scary sick earlier this summer. And after hearing about what his teammate was going through, which included a fever of 104.5 degrees, Nick Markakis opted to sit out of the season. Since then, they've both gone on to have pretty great years. It only took Markakis a few days of sitting on the couch at home watching sports on TV to decide that actually he'd rather be back at work, which is impressive because I think I could last a whole week at least before demanding I be allowed to blog. But then again, I'm not going to be a 37-year-old free agent this offseason.
Got him.
And Freeman, well, he just really recovered enough to take an OPS over 1,000 into this final stretch of the regular season and to hit his first grand slam of his decade-long career. It allows me to take a quick diversion to talk about how his son, Charlie Freeman, is entirely too good at baseball for a 3-year-old. I do not like it. Toddlers should not have that kind of upper body strength combined with fine motor skills. Even his congratulatory butt slap is 80 grade. I personally find preternaturally athletic babies to be terrifying. So I was thrilled to see Freddie put Charlie in his place during the shutdown.
Take that.
High school movie jock with a heart of gold, Dansby Swanson, is so good looking that the team has been acquiring doppelgangers, which worked out less well with Charlie Culberson and is working out better this season with rookie pitcher Ian Anderson, who one-hit the defending champions. That sounds better if we don't talk about how the Nats are doing this season, as part of getting off to a 3-0 start with a 1.64 ERA. Occasionally, Dansby takes a break from lying around on the base paths like one of your French girls to host a motivational podcast. Just in case you want to subscribe to the soothing sounds of a gorgeous, talented, athletic, rich white guy with perfect bedhead telling you it's all going to work out just fine. We've been denied the usual best friends who ball antics of Ozzie Albies and Ronald Acuna Jr. by a smattering of small injuries this season, which means the most dynamic on-field relationship in Acuna's life is between his sternum and the massive diamond-encrusted 13 necklace that he wears.
Flavor Flav.
There have admittedly been some close calls with the necklace, but the proto-Let the Kids Play Jr. continues to make a compelling case for accessorizing like a traveling Rockefeller trying to save on suitcase space. If you crush a 473-foot home run off Garrett Cole in your first at-bat off the IL, you can wear whatever you damn well want to.
Damn right.
Ahead of a certain postseason berth, the Braves are set to get back some of their much-needed rotation talent. Victorian-era ghost Mike Soroka is out until next spring, but apparently Cole Hamels plays for the Braves now as a sort of elder statesman in a direct assault on my Philly roots and in my conception of my own. I have to assume that he will be trading hair product tips with Max Fried, who may have bumped off his Cy Young campaign by injury, but he should be back with enough time left to chase being the only qualified pitcher to not give up a single home run this whole season. And I know that sounds sort of esoteric, but seriously, if that happens, Fried will be the first pitcher to accomplish the feat since Slim Harris in 1926.
Slim.
And admittedly, Slim threw 170 innings and Fried will only need to throw 60 for it to count, but ball is juiced. And if that doesn't work out, maybe they'll remake the Twilight series as a TV show. He looks like Edward Cullen.
Team Edward!
Root for the Braves. Maybe it'll feel like we're still living in the 90s.
Joe Kelly's mural.
Did we ever discuss Joe Kelly's pout face? Joe Kelly did that a while ago at the Astros, and then it became a meme, and then it became a t-shirt, and now it has become a giant Joe Kelly doing on the side of a building, which Joe Kelly himself visited and went in front of for a photo. The worst thing Joe Kelly did that day was throw at the Astros. The best thing he did that day was go, And then the best thing he's done since then was explain that face by being like, that's the face my wife makes at me all the time when I'm complaining unnecessarily, which is the greatest, most unforced self-own this baseball season. So, fan.
Falling off the mound.
Brent Suter pitched. No, he didn't pitch. I mean, he was pitching. He was in the process of pitching. He tripped and did a somersault, a back somersault, a summer reverse, a winterfold, a wintersault. He immediately sprung up as if we wouldn't notice. Pitching Ninja, the Twitter account, tweeted out a side-by-side of this video with Simone Biles. So she retweeted that, and then Brent Suter, he tweeted about how great it was to have the greatest gymnast of all time. Basically, he was like, it was worth it to have Simone Biles take notice of me. I wish that when I did embarrassing things, it was so charming. Simone Biles was like, oh, that's cute. I like to think that she would. Fan.
Albert Pujols.
He had a lot of home runs. He had a lot of RBIs. He had a lot of home runs. Which one was it?
Tied Willie Mays.
You think that I'm going to be like, well, he's a perfect. He's fine. He's good at baseball. I'm a fan, but I'm not really.
You're just not a fan of Albert Pujols in general?
No.
Aliens.
There's aliens on Venus, right?
Yeah.
Aliens. Fan. I don't know if they're watching. Huge fan. Like,
Come on the show.
don't you feel like scientists discover aliens a lot lately, and then we just go back to being equally surprised next time they discover aliens? Like, I guess I should just read the article.
Fans in the postseason bubble.
Rob Manfred said there might be fans in the postseason bubble. That sounds like total. Part of his argument was like, football is having fans, and it'll be ridiculous for us to host a World Series across the street from a football stadium that has fans and not have fans. The people who are being ridiculous in that scenario are the football team owners who are having fans at the stadium. People were like, that is so hypocritical, because why are you going to have the players be in a bubble and then you're just going to let fans in? And the point is, they don't give a if you get sick. They're not even having the games in the hometown. The argument is not if one of these teams with a big postseason drought makes it to the World Series. Oh my God, we gotta have San Diego fans at the. No, they're not. They're basically just saying we want oil tycoons who live in Texas to be able to spring for luxury suites where they can give each other COVID as long as we can sort of play out the remainder of the postseason. The reason they are protecting the players by putting them in a bubble, that is the way that you can protect your product and make sure that we can air a postseason and get all that postseason revenue. But if you want to both pay us money and possibly get sick, all we care about is the money. Not fair. And people will do it too. Oh, I'm so mad. Back in July, Ken Rosenthal reported that despite what is happening with the Washington football team, the Braves are not considering changing their name. They are, however, going to, quote, discuss the team's use of the tomahawk chop. And I don't really see how much there could possibly be to debate, but I guess 2 months later, those conversations are still ongoing. And look, best case scenario, the team removes the tomahawk iconography from their uniforms and merchandise, stops prompting the chop at games, and discourages fans from engaging in it themselves. And given the long arc of history, it is really hard to see this going any other way. But here's my proposal. If they do finally reckon with promoting racist stereotypes and decide to stop doing that, don't give the team too much credit. There have been people working tirelessly and largely unsuccessfully to force these conversations for years. The Braves haven't been unaware that this kind of behavior is harmful to the communities it references. They just didn't care until the public discourse became so loud that there was a business incentive to address it. Last year in the postseason, the Braves canceled a tomahawk giveaway and didn't cue the chop when facing Cardinals pitcher Ryan Helsley, a member of the Cherokee Nation who had explained exactly what is so racist about those traditions. So I guess what I don't understand is what's still left to talk about.
Damn right.
Nice.
We're waiting for the Braves this week. As you may have noticed, the script is not that nice to the Braves, which is like a weird thing that happens when I bandwagon other NL East teams because a vestigial Phillies fandom in me comes out. Ozzie Albies, Ronald Acuna Jr., Mike Soroka, Max Fried. They have like a lot of young, fun guys, and I'm still mad at them.